Varicose veins are conditions that describe as a bulging veins outside the skin in the lower extremities, in the legs. We have two types of blood vessels in the body: arteries and veins. Arteries, they bring fresh blood with oxygen and nutrients to every cell of the arteries, our body, and veins actually take the used blood without nutrients, without oxygen, towards rejuvenation in kidneys, lungs, etc. For proper functioning of our body, we need to make sure the circulation is swiftly happening. Arteries bring fresh blood, and veins take away the used blood. The system in the leg to two parts: deep veins and superficial veins. The superficial veins, we don't call them superficial because they're visible. No, we call them superficial because they're above the muscles. And deep veins, we don't call them just because they're invisible. We call them deep because they're under the muscle. How does it work? Instead, in the heart, when heart pumps, arterial blood actually goes because of the pressure and gravity. How do we make the venous blood flow? Especially in the legs, because this blood is supposed to go up against the gravity from the lower part of our body towards the heart. And what happens? When we walk, muscles squeeze the deep veins and blood goes up. To prevent blood going down, we have what we call valves. It's basically like a double doors that open up and close down. Those double doors in the deep system typically function very, very well, because what can go wrong with deep system? They're very well protected by the muscles, so veins cannot stretch. They're very protected. They're safe. Superficial veins, on top of the muscles, they're not as protected. And many times we see that they increase in size, the valves, double doors stretch, and what happens? Blood can go down. If the problem is small, tiny superficial vein, not a big deal. But unfortunately, many times, the problem is in the main superficial veins. We call them saphenous vein. Great saphenous, small saphenous vein. And the worst part, that this superficial vein system connected to the deep. All this blood that finally goes up in the deep system has an opportunity to fall down according to gravity through malfunctioning valves in the superficial system. So that becomes a secondary circle of circulation in each leg between good veins and bad veins. The end result? Flood. There's a flood of all blood without nutrients, without oxygen, that leads to two types of symptoms. One type of system is because just a lot of blood, called congestion, swelling, bulging veins, heaviness, right? Because you need to carry more blood. And the other type of symptoms, malnutrition symptoms. The pain, the burning, the itching, because everything irritates the vein. It's like a lactic acid. That's the byproduct of our cell function, and it actually burns the nerves. Or in extreme cases, it's even ulcers, because we know the skin is a very active organ. Every few months, it's regenerate. So if you don't have a proper circulation, it never heals. It falls apart. And also, because of the slow circulation, many times we see, unfortunately, increased risk in thrombosis. The good news is here at USA Vein Clinics, we can easily fix it. Because we can actually see through our special eyes, what we call ultrasound, every tiny part of the circulation of the blood vessel. Even function of every valve that opens up or down, leaking or not. And after creating of every millimeter of the circulation, arterial, venous, we can truly pinpoint which veins are good and which veins are bad. And using different technologies laser ablation technology, sclerotherapy technology, we can correct what goes wrong and restore proper circulation within literally minutes. Our intravenous laser therapy ablations, it takes probably 10-15 minutes. Sclerotherapy injections, treatments that we do under ultrasound guidance takes 1 to 5 minutes. So absolutely no reason today, in 21st century, to suffer from varicose veins or venous insufficiency, because there are treatments that exist.